So in the beginning of the year, I knew that I missed Jerry Jacobs, and with Oruwariye not playing well, it was very obvious. But then there was a little bit like game 4 or 5. I kind of forgot about Jerry Jacobs, and I forgot how well he had played for us down the stretch last year, or at least how he was at a definite serviceable cornerback. And in his first full time return here for the Detroit Lions, dude absolutely showed out in a good way. And it was just so much fun to see. You remember the fire that he brings to that defensive backfield, the way he plays hard, the way he plays the run, and he plays the pass. But what I loved even more, and we want to talk about two things in this video. One, how good was he? Like, how good was he to the naked eye watching the game? I thought he played really well when he started playing, and he started getting in a little bit in the second quarter. And then he basically in the second half said, Hughes, get out of here. This is my job. I'm taking it. I am the corner opposite of Okuda, and he ran with it. So how good did he play? But then there was the other thing. There was the trash talk. And I want to talk about that trash talk right now. So it's one thing to talk trash. It's another thing entirely to talk trash against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, arguably. And it's a third to back it up. And that's exactly what he did. He was talking some serious junk with Aaron Rodgers. And we can go ahead and take a look at this. Our peeps over at Pride of Detroit, Lions quarterback Jerry Jacobs to Aaron Rodgers, stop trying me. So this is a great title. It ends up being a little bit less, but I remember watching this in the game. I remember seeing that he was talking. I remember like Rodgers was kind of laughing, and you could tell he was talking a little smack to him. And here's what it says. It said, I just told him to stop trying me, Jacobs said after the Lions 15-9 win over the Packers. I'm like, dang, bro, you going to stop trying me? And I love this. Like, he just walks up to one of the greatest of all time. He's like, what are you doing? Like, hey, I understand you've made a living doing this. You've done extremely well. You've made a lot of money. But also maybe you should try throwing to someone else because I got you today. And he said that Aaron was just laughing and was like, well, you're doing good. And he's like, keep going. And I was like, all right. And I'm just like, this is fantastic. Like, I love seeing like the behind the scenes stuff like this. Like, so players don't usually talk that much about it. Usually when you say to a player and you're just saying things and you're just like, hey, what were you guys talking about? You and Aaron, we saw that you had a little conversation out there. What was that about? And he's like, oh no, we're just having a good time, man. Yep, just playing football. Playing football, talking's part of it. That's usually what a player says. A player never comes out and says, oh no, I said this, and then he said this, and then I responded this way. Like, that's so cool. That's so cool to be able to see that. And I love these little moments where you actually get to, you get to peek behind the curtain and you get to see what's really going on. I think that's why a lot of us liked Hard Knocks. I think that's why so many of us just want to have, and I think that's what was so endearing to Dan Campbell early on, especially in his tenure. It was just like, dude can't lie. So like we're hearing him and he's talking about all these things and we're just like, yeah, he can't lie. So this is really great. We love hearing this stuff. But I'm not sure how that's going to continue to play out. But Jerry Jacobs talking smack, love it. And there are some other things, and I did want to talk about this. I want to have this conversation about just how good was he. So I always like going to our good friends over at Pro Football Focus, PFF. And promise, not a sponsor, but I just wanted to see, okay, so Jerry Jacobs, how good did he play? How well did he grade out? Well, here he is. He graded out an 83.3. Last week, just to give you an idea, that would have been number one. Okay, that would have been number one. And he played 45 total snaps. For reference, another corner, Jeff Okuda, played 62. Mike Hughes plays 39. So he played the second most cornerback snaps. Coming off an injury, that's pretty impressive. His run defensive grade was almost as good as his coverage grade, but his overall grade was absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and look at it even closer. He played one play in week 7 against Dallas, and it was nice to see him be able to get out here and be able to talk about it. And he's one of those guys that when the Lions fired Aubrey Pleasant, I think what we're learning about Jerry Jacobs is that he's okay with saying what he feels. He was one of the guys that was like, that's my guy. Like, I love him. It's going to be hard adjusting in the locker room without him. This is difficult. He wasn't making stuff up. He was just dead honest with it. And I absolutely respect that. And it seems like the team is going to allow that. He was targeted in this time. Look at this. He was targeted 4 times, 0 catches. 4 targets, 0 catches. You can't get better than that with one pass breakup. Okay. He also had a penalty, which is why it dinged his coverage grade just a little bit, because otherwise he would have had a really good coverage grade because nobody touched him. So here's what you forget about Jacobs. He's a guy who is not the fastest player. He's not the tallest player. He's not even the strongest player. He does have good weight for his height, and he is pretty strong for a corner, but he just keeps playing hard. And it's so much fun to see. So I just wanted to talk about Jerry Jacobs. These are the kind of guys that I love. They're young, so they can be the future. I don't know what his role is on this team. I don't. And do I think that he should be the number 2 corner opposite Okudah going forward? Probably not. I mean, I think you could do better, but that doesn't mean he can't play. It doesn't mean that you couldn't give him a run in the slot. It doesn't mean that he couldn't be a great backup. Like, what a great third corner to have on a team if he keeps playing at this level. And he played at this level last year too. I think a lot of people just forgot about Jerry Jacobs. I think they forgot about him because he had the ACL tear last year, but now he's back. He looks healthy. He looks quick. Honestly, he might even look quicker than he did before. And that was, I think, what surprised me the most about Jerry Jacobs is the speed that showed on tape, because usually when you get a guy that late, you just don't expect him to be quite that quick and quite that good. So anyways, another Brad Holmes find that was just fantastic. And my hope is that he's a guy that continues to progress. He was good his rookie year. He's now played 1 game in his second year, and he was still really good. AJ Parker has kind of regressed to the mean. You know what I mean? Undrafted free agent. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy's going to make this team. This guy's going to start. That's what we were thinking last year. And now he's kind of regressed back to, okay, yeah, okay, we see why he wasn't drafted higher, because I think at first we're like, look at this guy. No, he's regressed back for sure. But Jerry Jacobs has started to assert himself as a good football player. And my hope is that he can string multiple games together and he can be the guy to say, okay, I don't know if I'm the future for this team, but I want to be. And so I am going to make a case to be the number 2 cornerback going forward. And I'm going to play hard and I'm going to play well. I'm going to defend the run. I'm going to defend the pass. I'm going to talk trash. It's going to be a part of my game. And even though I might be slightly undersized, I'm going to continue to battle, and you're going to feel me and you're going to know I'm there. It's pretty cool. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, especially if you listen to the end of this video. Just do it. Like, you must have liked it enough. It's been 8 minutes and you're still listening. So, hey, we love the Lions. Man, doesn't it feel better after a victory to talk about the Lions? We will see you on the next one. Hit us with the comment. Where are you at with Jerry Jacobs? See ya.